Erik Jesberger sitting alongside head coach and general manager Jason Binkley ahead of tonight's faceoff against the Jacksonville Icemen, the second of 6 non-divisional opponents your club sees this season. Always exciting to see a new foe, but heading into tonight's faceoff, how have you prepared for the Icemen here this week?
Well, they're going to be a very similar team to what Trois-Rivières was last week. So for us, the transition from one opponent to the next has been relatively easy. We've just tried to dial in our systems a little bit more and making sure that what we're able to do on our side dictates what they're trying to do on their side, if that makes sense. So the biggest thing for us, once again, manage the puck. As we did that better through Saturday and Sunday last week, we obviously got the results. Even with Sunday's game, right, it took us a while to get going, but once we finally did and we played the right way, we got the result we were looking for. So we need to build off those wins. We need to feel good about it, but we also had to get better this week, which I felt like we did. And now we have a really good opponent coming in from the South Division. So, part of the message has been welcome them to the North with fierce competition, with physicality, with some battling, and show them what our North Division is all about.
A team that you included your playing career with, so you're familiar with that South Division with a lot of talent, and you get a chance to see that here at this homestand. You also look at the fact that those 2 wins you mentioned against Trois-Rivières, 4 or more goals in both of those games. How do you look to sustain that and also provide maybe that insight for what the South Division brings?
The biggest thing is we just have to play the right way. Guys were rewarded on Saturday and Sunday because they played the game the right way. And as we spoke last week before we even played TR, what has made them successful? They're an honest, hardworking team, and they've been rewarded for it. So now, as we've had more time to practice and work with our players compared to the first half of the year with all the road games and travel we've had, we can really dial in the details of our system and how we want them to play. So, when a player comes and he stops on a specific spot and the puck comes right to him, we tell them that on purpose. So as guys are getting more detailed, as we can improve our systems as we go along, the guys should hopefully stay being rewarded for their efforts and for their hard work. Obviously we've countered we've worked a lot on our line rushes, our counterattacks, things like that, which we've seen some now come to fruition in the last couple games. But once again, the simple message, the simple word for our guys is just work. And if they do that, then, things will be better for them than they have been the first half of the year.
We see the addition to your net minding room being Ty Taylor, 6'4" goaltender, began this season in the SPHL with Evansville. Can you speak on what your impressions are of him this week? And with Keith Petrozelli back to Lehigh Valley, what do you anticipate to have in your goaltending room this weekend?
Well, first off, Keith is going to be up there for a bit. We're a team here in Reading that has sustained way too many injuries. And unfortunately for us, for Lehigh, now it's kind of bleeding into them a little bit. And the reality is somebody like Keith and Parker, those guys are on contract with those players, so they deserve these opportunities. And I'm happy to see them move up, because the reality of our job and our position in this organization is to develop these guys, make sure they're playing, make sure they're getting reps in their minutes. And Keith has obviously played a lot of games for us. So he's ready and willing to go up there and to support Lehigh Valley and help them in any way they need. Bringing in a guy like Ty Taylor, as we look at him, and I talk through coaches throughout the SPHL, he's a kid who's going to work and grind and battle. He's won games just simply from his compete out there. I talked to a source or a coach that I played with who was a goalie who's coaching in that league, and he said this kid is the real deal down there for them, over like a .933 save percentage in 20 games, whatever it is. So, for him. And when it comes to me with goalies, I just save the puck. That's ultimately your job. I'm not technical. I'm not advanced in that category. So just do your job and let us do our job away from you. So other than that, I'm excited to see what he can do. It's his first real start, I believe. I think he maybe came in for a relief one time down in Orlando, but he's known now for a couple days that he's starting, so he's had time to prepare and all that. So we will have some changes to our goalie room as the weekend goes around here, and we can let you guys know that as it happens. But Ty Taylor's getting the start tonight, and we'll see what he can do.
Turned aside 8 of 9 shots in that game back in 2021-22 with the Orlando Solar Bears. You mentioned those statuses on players, and it was great to share that the successful treatment for Connor McMiniman after the injury, unfortunate last weekend, of course, with that same game. Vinny Papura also goes down. Any status updates on Papura and the players right now on the IR?
We're getting closer with some. It's just a long process, and with the way concussions are these days and with how we have to treat and make sure that these guys are okay, like that is first and foremost the most important thing to us. And we have to make sure that these players are back to 100% before we can suit them back up and put them on the ice. So we don't want them to have any long-term effects. They don't want any long-term effects. So we do our due diligence. We get doctor's appointments, MRIs, whatever we need to set up. And St. Luke's has been good with helping us through this whole process of working with us and getting our guys in as we've needed them. For McMiniman, obviously had to have surgery, so most likely done for the year at this point. Quite a lengthy recovery that he's going to have to go through for his injury. And then specifically Papura, I don't have an exact timetable yet. I doubtful for this weekend. But like I said, we have some guys that are on the mend, and hopefully we can get some of these guys back into our lineup and get some fresh faces out there and some fresh bodies as we make our push here in the second half.
Appreciate those updates, Coach, and once again, recognition to the first responders in St. Luke's University Health Network for the hard work, and the best wishes to Connor McMiniman for that recovery. Coach, thank you for the time, and best luck tonight.